Coming to you from the city beautiful Chicago, Illinois, where tonight WGN Sports on the U presents White Sox baseball. It's Jose Abreu. It's Alexi Ramirez. It's Adam Eaton and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Jason Kipnis and the Cleveland Indians. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrell, since we get set to bring you the second of this four-game set. In the opener last night, you know, if you recall last year, they finished off the season. They were 17-2 against us. They won the last 14 games. So in the first inning last night, they came on, they scored 2 runs, and we said, oh, no, not again. But Johnny Danks was too much. He bared down. We kept pecking away. Finally won that ball game 7-3. But we've had a guy who's got a 10-game hitting streak going, and that's our shortstop.
Everybody talks about Jose Abreu, but they forget about Alexi Ramirez. And Ramirez is off to one of the great starts in his career. You take a look at his contributions, and he's driven in 9 runs. He's hit a couple of home runs, and he's playing a very solid shortstop. And in Colorado, he had some big games. Last night, he had another big game. So we'll take a look at the career average for the month of April, and it's abysmal. It's 245. He's hit a grand total of 9 home runs, driven in only 48 runs in 137 games. But this season, 421. He's one of the mainstays on this team. He looks to be very happy, and when he's happy, he can contribute. And this year, he's contributing as well as just about anybody.
And on the bump, we got a good one.
We got Chris Sale going to the mound tonight, and he's the best on the team. Chris Sale's 2-0 this year, and he's been absolutely brilliant. We'll take a look at a fastball in Kansas City. They've got a very good hitting team, and Chris Sale just held them completely down. But a different story against these Indians. Last year he was 0-4 with an ERA up over 8. There's Nick Swisher taking him out of the ballpark. As you can see, the last time out in his career record against the Tribe. But going into last season, he was doing very well against them. And last year it was absolutely awful for Chris. He's hoping for a rebound. And the team looks a bit better this year than last.
All right, sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
before tonight's game, and predictably, after watching Jose Abreu hit 4 home runs in 3 games, the topic of conversation was a Sox new slugger and comparisons to the stars of the past.
Yeah, they had Frank Thomas here. He was pretty good. He made the Hall of Fame and everything, so he's pretty good. But you know, again, this is early, but you know, he's good. You know, that's just part of who he is, and you know, the age that he's at right now coming over. That you know, he's not a normal. You know, you're not looking at a 19-year-old kid coming over here and crossing your fingers that you're hoping that he's good. You know, he's played against good competition before, and he's just proven it right now that he belongs in this league.
Do you see Jose having some similarities to Frank in his hitting stuff?
There's parts of it. I think just the power that they have to be able to go the other way is very similar.
Certain plan of attack that opposing pitchers have gone after him with, or has it been kind of?
It's been a little bit of everything. I think at first everybody just thought they could throw him inside. He's been able to handle that, and now it's going to be the old pound him inside, soft away, you know, typical stuff that everybody says. But you know, he's been able to get at everything. And, you know, if he's looking for it, he's got a pretty good chance to hit hard.
We'll be back with lineups and today's first pitch after a break. Your home for the most live sports. Tonight's game is available in Spanish on your SAP audio setting, provided by 97.5 FM ESPN Deportes, Chicago's first and only Spanish language sports radio station. It is a beautiful night for baseball here at U.S. Cellular Field, and let's take a look at how Terry Francona is going to line up his Indians tonight. As Drupal Cabrera leads it off with Nick Swisher in the 2 spot. Then it's Jason Kipnis. Carlos Santana, who's off to a slow start. Ryan Rayburn, who always hits Sox pitching. Then it's Michael Brantley, Yan Gomes, Mike Aviles, and Elliott Johnson to round it out. The Sox defense and how they'll line up behind Chris Sale, Alejandro Diaz, Adam Eaton, and Diane Viciedo in the outfield. With Connor Gillespie, Alexei Ramirez, Marcus Semien, and Jose Abreu in the infield. Tyler Flowers, the red-hot Tyler Flowers, gets a nod behind the plate. And Chris Sale on the hill. He's 2-0 this year, a sparkling 1.76 ERA. He's been brilliant in both of those starts. 14 strikeouts, just 2 walks, but he's facing a team that was his nemesis last year. Last year, Chris was 0-4 with an ERA of 8.61 against the Tribe. The umpires for the game tonight: Brian Knight behind the plate, Quinn Wolcott is at first, the crew chief Jerry Davis is at second, and Phil Cuzzy is at third. So it's 66 degrees at game time. A beautiful day, a beautiful evening for baseball, and a beautiful time to win 2 in a row. And I turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
All right, Stevie, thank you. And once again, good evening, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball. Right here over WGN Sports on the U. So happy you could join us for game 2 of this 4-game set. As here is one of 4 switch hitters in this lineup tonight. This is the shortstop, as Drupal Cabrera. And Chris's first pitch of the ball game. Swung on. The fastball. Foul right side, Souvenir. A beautiful, beautiful evening here in the city. Beautiful. Cabrera 2 for 4 with a homer last night. Breaking ball, tried to backdoor him, and the count 1-1. And here at the ballpark, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straight away center. Tops that one foul.
Cabrera, who is in the final year of his contract, and some think that if the Indians do fall out of it, he'll go to a contender toward the trading deadline, is off to a slow start.
That fastball at 94. Well, he's a good player. So he has value. There are a lot of clubs that would love to have Asdrubal Cabrera.
I think it would be a good trade for a contender as they get a little closer.
That breaking ball hit deep into center field. We got a man there. Right in front of Jimmy Johns.
This team, for whatever reason, had Chris's number last year, and their hitting coach, Ty Van Berkelio, was talking to the hitters about not trying to cover the whole plate against Sale. Said if that slider is as good as it usually is, if he hits the inside corner with it, well, then tip your hat. But you have to mostly look away and hope to hit the fastball, because a changeup and the slider can be overwhelming, and the Indians last year did it very well.
Starts him off with a changeup. Swisher, who was 0 for 3 last night. Well, that's one of the smartest things I've heard a hitting coach say in a long time.
It worked last year.
The better the pitcher, the more the plate you got to concede. You try to cover the plate on a good pitcher, you're probably going to go 0 for 4. Two 2-0 pitch.
I think Nick thought that ball was a little outside. Brian Knight stays out there all night long and gives those corners. Pitchers will be very happy.
Just off the inside corner. So the count 3-1. Swisher 4 for 13 against Chris, and on 4 hits, 2 of them stayed in the park. And there's ball 4.
Not many left-handers have had the success of Jason Kipnis against Chris Sale.
He's 4 for 12 against him. He was 1 for 4 last night. Indians come in hitting at .237 as a team with a 3.89 ERA. Both teams coming in with a 5-5. Cleveland's already played 2 doubleheaders this year.
And judging by the early weather forecast for Sunday, they just might play another one.
Won't be on Monday.
No, it will not.
Don't want to get tentative with a club that's been giving you a lot of problems. Get tentative with them. Start walking guys and start falling behind the counts. Probably going to get beat again.
We didn't have this kind of mindset as he went for his first 2 starts. But the fact that Cleveland just absolutely pummeled him last year, even a pitcher as good as Chris Sale knows exactly what happened and exactly how this team attacked it. So they have some surprising batting averages lifetime against Chris. But you're right. You got to go right at them. If they hit the ball, well, they just hit it. If they find a hole, then they find a hole. But you can't keep falling behind. And Chris doesn't walk a whole lot of people, but he did manage to walk Swisher.
And the count's 3-1. Kipnis, a good player. And getting better.
Carlos Santana in the on-deck circle.
So back-to-back walks.
Don Cooper now coming out to talk with Chris Sale.
Well, he's going to tell him the same thing we were just talking about.
Stay aggressive. I mean, you've had your success in your career by being aggressive, by going right at hitters and trusting that your stuff is better than the hitter. Well, he's come out tentative tonight for whatever reason. I think Don goes out there to remind him, your stuff's good enough to get this guy. You're still one ground ball away from getting out of the inning, and you've got a catcher hitting from the right side. So that ground ball is doable.
Coop has his say, and Santana will be the hitter. You got Cabrera, Swisher, Santana, and Elliott Johnson, the 4 switch hitters in this lineup. Santana 0 for 4 last night, but he's had good success against Chris. 21 at bats, 9 hits. Outfield straight up, spread out about equidistant. Stars him off with a changeup.
Good pitch, because when you've had the kind of luck that Santana's had against Sale, you're looking fastball early in the count.
Breaking ball and the count 0-2.
That slider he threw with conviction. He just let it go.
Yeah, earlier the few pitches looked like he was trying to run it up there.
Good late breaking slider. Kept it on the outer portion. It snapped over the middle of the plate.
Close. That could have been called either way right there.
He appealed to Quinn Wolcott, and he gave the benefit of the doubt to Santana. We'll watch it.
That could have been called either way. Yes, he did.
That time he was a no-doubter. Pounded that slider low and in, and there's the K zone. That was the best slider he's thrown this inning. And a guy who's hit it very well, Santana, was nowhere near it.
But here is that man who wears us out, Ryan Rayburn. 2 for 3 last night with an RBI. He's faced Chris 19 times, has 7 hits and 2 homers.
Those are some pretty lofty numbers against one of the league's best. And I talked with Rayburn before the game, and I said, "You playing tonight?" He said, "Yep." I said, "No chance of getting traded before the game?" He said, "Don't think so." But how about taking a day off tomorrow? You know, you're a little older than you would be. But they really like him in Cleveland. They got a good, solid right-hander off the bench.
Why wouldn't they? And that was just fouled. Tell you what, he's taking over the Sox killer mantra. It didn't make any difference who's on the mound.
No, his lifetime probably just a tick over 300 against our ball club.
Yeah, but again, that's not even close to what.
Big hits.
Right.
Big hits and late hits. 303 lifetime.
2-1. 2 out. 2 on. Top of the first inning if you're just tuning in.
Rayburn has been trying to pull just about everything. Let's see if Chris can work that to his favor.
See that setup he's got with that left heel pointing out towards shortstop and second base.
Is that to keep his weight back?
Yes,
remind him to keep his weight back?
To keep him tucked. See where that Left field is trying to get it pointed out there as much as you can. Good rip. He got away with a cookie right there.
That changeup was right down the middle. Unfortunately, Rayburn missed it. Xfinity pitch tracks will show you that one was in the middle of the plate, just about belt high. Michael Brantley waits in the on-deck circuit.
There they go. Count hangs 3-2. Yeah, hitters will a lot of times, I know I did it towards the end of my career. You get in there and you'll just try to get that left heel going. You can't do it, but you try to get it towards the second baseman. Now, it won't be.
If you could do that, you'd be in the circus.
Yeah, exactly. He gone. So he walks a couple pitches over, strikes out a pair after happening to play. It's a 5-0. Good guys coming to bat.
Lone man standing from a deal that sent Cliff Lee to the Philadelphia Phillies. Last start against the Twins. Okay. Not great. 4 earned runs and 5 2/3. He only walked 2, fanning 7. He's got a great arm. And we'll talk about his stuff. He's a 4-pitch pitcher with a good changeup as we move along.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. Here's Adam. First pitch strike. He was 2 for 4 with an RBI last night. Just made a nice catch. Count evens at 1. Sox come in hitting at 287 as a club with a 5.22 ERA. Tops that one foul, so a 1-2 count.
That was his version of the changeup. It was 89 miles an hour, contrasting with his 96 mile an hour fastball. And the Indians love his arm. There's never any doubt about that. They just would like to see him get a little more deception in his delivery.
count.
At the very least, it's going to be a 6-pitch at bat. So Adam Eaton once again playing the leadoff man to perfection here in the first inning.
And there's another souvenir left side. Breaking ball. 1 out. So with 1 out, let's check out our picks to click. Jim Angio, our director and crew. Go with Adam. Steve's going with Adam Eaton. Don Esposito, Mike Spadali, Shaw Booker, Matt Nykiel, Tracy Mobley, Jure Ferris, and Leo Brady and I. We're going to go with Tyler Flowers. First pitch strike to Marcus Semien.
Carrasco came over from the Philadelphia Phillies along with Jason Donald, Jason Knapp, and Lou Marson in exchange for Cliff Lee and Ben Francisco.
And he's breaking ball strike. 0-2.
He's shown a good slider and a very good curveball in the early going.
A little unusual for a right-hander. Quickly 2 out.
Fastball in a perfect spot. When it's 0-2, you can go off the outside corner and force a swing.
So here's Gillespie. He was 1 for 4 last night in lifetime against Carrasco. He's faced him twice and has 1 hit. Carrasco coming right out.
He's working quickly. He's very aggressive tonight. So he must have had very good stuff in the bullpen because he's a very confident pitcher, at least to this point.
Pitch. Just does get a piece of it. Second of this 4-game set and second of this 7-game 8-day homestand. Monday will be off, and Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Defending world champion Boston Red Sox come to town. And there's another souvenir. And after that, it's off on the road again. I saw him here someplace. We go to Texas for 3 and Detroit for 4.
A couple of pretty good ball clubs coming up on the next trip. Backdoor breaking ball just misses outside. Last year, Carrasco just 1-4 with a 6.75 ERA in 15 games, 7 of them starts.
And a full count. Got in on him. He was able to yank it foul. And he's going to have to get a new one.
It's going to be at least a 9-pitch at bat, so both Eaton and now Gillespie have prolonged the at-bats against Carrasco. We saw what prolonged at-bats did early to Danny Salazar last night. Never made it out of the 4th, despite striking out 10 of the 11 outs he recorded.
Carrasco, Barquisimeto, Venezuela. off for a base hit.
Prolonged at bat, and the 10th pitch forthcoming. I can tell you from experience that pitchers are not too fond of this situation. He's kept everything away, most of it high and away to Gillespie, who keeps fouling everything off. You want to yell in to put it in play.
There's the ball. So a good at bat right there for Gillespie, and with 2 out, 1 on, that'll bring up Abreu.
4 home runs in 3 games, 2 of them coming last night, and both of them crushed.
Feels slightly to the right. Takes it up high. A little tardy.
2 fastballs on the inner portion. And most of the time, that's where major league pitchers are going to go to Abreu, at least in the feeling out process.
He just missed that one.
Carrasco got lucky. Got a fastball up and away from Jose, who's usually tattooing that ball into the right field gap or hitting it out. Time he fouled it back.
Two and two.
Well, I would think after 4 fastballs that whichever he feels more comfortable with, the curveball and the slider, would be forthcoming here. There's the hook.
Got him and he knew it. So he strikes out the side. We strand 1 on the walk, and after 1, no score. It's the top of the second, no score. It'll be Brantley, Gomes, and Aviles to face Chris Sale. Michael, 1 for 4 last night, and 2 for 16 lifetime off Chris. Tops that one foul.
Michael came over from the Milwaukee Brewers. He was a secondary player in the Matt Laporta deal that sent CC Sabathia to the Brewers. Now, they had their choice of Brantley or another player who wound up never making it. They chose very well in Brantley, who's a good, solid outfielder wherever they put him out there.
There's breaking ball strike, and he's getting better.
Yeah, he's a good player, and he usually doesn't give any ground to left-hand pitchers, although Chris Sale has handled him very well. Most left-handers, Brantley doesn't worry about too much, so he plays every day.
Lights that one off. Yeah, Michael is getting better and better every year. Just 26 right now. A ball and 2 strikes. And checking the schedule for the games. After 1 in Minnesota, Twins leading Kansas City 2-1. Later on, Detroit at San Diego. Boston has taken a 4-1 lead over the Yankees and CC Sabathia in the Bronx. That game in the top of the 6th. Toronto leading Baltimore 2-0. Bottom of the 6th in Maryland. Tampa Bay 2, Cincinnati 0 after 4 at the Great American Ballpark. A lot of interleague play very early. There you go.
There's been 7 outs recorded in this game, and 6 of them have been strikeouts. 3 strikeouts in a row for Chris, who after the 2 walks has really settled down. Nice stop by Tyler Flowers. And he puts a tag on Brantley.
So here's Yan Gomes. Down at 241, a couple of homers, 4 RBIs. Good looking young catcher. He was 0 for 3 last evening. Johnny Danks gave up 2 runs in the first inning and then settled down and just pitched his derriere off. Threw that one right by him. There are the Danks boys. Jordan and Johnny. And Nate Jones on the left. That's low.
Gomes came over from the Toronto Blue Jays along with Mike Aviles in exchange for Esmiel Rogers. Turned out to be just a terrific trade for the Indians, as Gomes last year hit .294 and took over the #1 spot behind the plate. Indians have rewarded him with a long-term extension. Good, young, versatile catchers are hard to come by, and the Indians figured it was about time to wrap this guy up, make sure he didn't get away.
That fastball ate him up on the fist. And there he just muscles the base hit, so he can cancel the post-game show. Made a good pitch and just got beat on.
Chris tried to throw that fastball in on his hands, and it's pretty rare at 94 or 95 that you can get the head of the bat on the ball when it's 2-3 inches inside off the plate. But Gomes was able to do just that.
Well, he was closer to his thumbs than he was the head of the bat. As here is Aviles, who's 0 for 3. Off to a slow start at 143, but he has a guy who hurt us. Especially when he was in that Kansas City uniform and then in the Boston uniform.
Daniel Webb on a 1-2 fastball threw one way up and in, and Mike Aviles just looked at one on the outside corner. That was last evening as Webb was brilliant in 2 innings.
There's one off the end of the bat, and that's going to fall for a base hit. So 2 little duck snorts.
That one just off the end of the bat, and an almost for Marcus Semien, but not quite.
Here's Elliott Johnson. '30-year-old all-purpose player. Yes, he did. To the count. 2 on, 1 out. Here at the top of the second. 2-0 for them. No runs, no hits, no errors for us. If you're just joining us. Lays off that one. Time is called. When you were struggling out there, did you have a go-to slot or a go-to pitch?
I was usually struggling. When I was struggling with the curveball, and what I would do was shorten up the stride, make sure I got on top of it, because breaking ball pitchers, slider or curveball, you have a tendency to get under the pitch.
He just ate him up right there. Kank makes the catch, and that's out number 2. Go ahead.
And I believe that a shortened stride allows you to get on top, reminds you to get on top, and then all of a sudden it would come back to me. But if the stride got too long, the ball stayed up consistently, which you can't afford on anything, but especially on a breaking ball. But every pitcher has a key they go to. Sometimes, and I remember Kerry Wood with the Cubs, he would miss consistently with a fastball, and he would go away from the fastball, throw sliders for strikes, which was his comfort pitch, and get back then into the groove by doing it that way. And with Chris, looks to me like if he starts to miss, it's usually, well, today it's been low and in more than anything else. But he has supreme confidence in his changeup. He's just not throwing it tonight where he wants it.
So here's Cabrera, fly deep to center field. He's swinging the bat well. He Tommy hawked a couple last night, one for a double, one for a homer. Well, of all the hundreds and hundreds of pitchers over a half century that I've been in this game, talked to, 99% of them say when they get in trouble, they shorten their stride.
It allows you to stay over the top.
That's what they call plan B. And that's fouled back. But unfortunately, not everybody has plan B. Some guys, in that 1 or other 2%, they would say they changed their arm slot. So somewhere where if they were coming over the top a little bit and everything was staying up, they would drop down just a little bit with the arm slot. Try to get it to run in. But keeping their fingers on top rather than on the side.
Yeah, it's whatever works.
Yeah, sure it is, like a fingerprint.
But in talking with some great pitchers, and many years ago, a Hall of Famer that I came up with, Gaylord Perry, who was known for the spitter, and he readily admits it now. But he always told me, you can throw from the side. You can drop down your arm if you keep your fingers on top of the ball.
Right.
And I said, well, how can you throw almost sidearm and keep your fingers on top? He said, well, that's the art of throwing that pitch. He says, if you get your fingers under it, the ball stays up, and you've got problems.
Yes, he did. He gone. So he pitches out of another jam, but he has worked hard through his first 2 innings.
Game starting at 1 o'clock. And hopefully you won't need the fleece blankets. It was a beautiful day today, but they're handsome blankets.
It
Feel
is
good.
It's a handsome blanket.
Yeah. Get 2 of them, sew them together. Use it when you're riding your horse.
Man. First 20,000 fans. So here's Dunn. It'll be Dunn, Viciedo, and Diaza. Adam takes first pitch strike. Adam 0 for 2 last evening. 3 for 8 lifetime offer. Carlos Carrasco. Very quickly 0 and 2.
Take a look at the glove of Carrasco, and you'll see what pitching coach Mickey Callaway is trying to do with him.
Hit right at the only man on that side of the infield.
Mickey Callaway, his pitching coach, said, look, your stuff is too good to be getting hit as hard as you're getting hit. And what he wanted him to do was throw that glove out right in front of the ball. And I know you remember the Hall of Famer Jim Palmer used to throw the glove out first and then the ball would come right over it. Well, Carrasco was keeping the glove down. Consequently, hitters were seeing the ball right out of his hand with no deception whatsoever. So he wants to throw the glove and then the ball.
That's never, from a hitter standpoint, that's never a bad thing for a pitcher to do.
I mean, you're trying to take his vision away and obscure the baseball as long as you can.
Well, if you do it, you're going to take a couple of feet off the vision.
Yeah.
Watch out. No, the best thing for a hitter is to get a guy who's got a true motion and gets that glove out of the way.
You just take a look at the hand and the arm slot where the ball is released. You see it all the way.
Yeah, Jim Palmer, 8-time 20-game winner, 3-time Cy Young Award winner. Stops that one foul.
Carrasco has good movement tonight. His version of the changeup is 88, 89 miles an hour. Very reminiscent of the way Strasburg from Washington throws. Fastball 98, the changeup at 90.
Soft ground ball. Santana throws him out, 2 out.
Santana's a pretty good athlete. You have a guy who came over as a catcher, got really beaten out behind the plate because Gomes is a far superior catcher than Santana is, but he played some first base. Talking with their broadcaster, Tom Hamilton, he said that Santana's played a surprising third base defensively. He said, we'd like him to start hitting the baseball sometime soon, but defensively at third, he's getting it done on a nightly basis.
Here's Diazza. 0 for 3 last night, 4 for 7 lifetime. Off Carrasco. Two and one. Well, you know, with the exception of guys like, you know, Ted Williams and guys of that ilk, which are not many of them. Most hitters would rather talk to pitchers about the game.
Well, you got to get the perspective from the other side.
Exactly. 3 and 1. One of the most interesting guys to ever talk baseball with is my former partner, God rest his soul, Don Drysdale. Besides being a Hall of Fame pitcher, he was also a pretty good hitter.
I was going to say, a terrific athlete to go with just pitching.
That's high and deep into right center field. Randall. So that'll retire the side, and we'll go to the third. No score. And Santana to face our Chris Sale. Good changeup. One pitch and one out. And a reminder, our April schedule is full of exciting matchups, including the World Series champion Boston Red Sox from April 15th through the 17th. Lower level tickets start as low as $20, and upper level seats start at $7. So get your tickets now. WhiteSox.com/tickets. Here's Kipnis. He walked. Takes ball 1.
If you sit in the K zone, you'll get a K zone t-shirt. Go with your placard. And easy access to all the concession stands, which is of critical importance to me.
Three and 0. Come back, Dave. Walk him again. Ball hit right at it. Almost in his tracks. 2 down. That's a hang wolf for Kipnis.
Well, he's looking fastball. Figures he's going to get one because he doesn't want to walk him. And he's a good enough hitter where he's going to put the good part of the bat on the ball. But fortunately, if you make a hitter make some contact, you got 7 guys behind you where he can hit it at.
Santana struck out. A good slider. A little tardy on that fastball. To the count. He gone. He knew it. 5th strikeout for Chris. K-zone down there. They got there. Earlier today, White Sox Director of Conditioning, AT Alan Thomas, and pitcher Donnie Beal, and Southpaw visited Langford Academy on Chicago's South Side to kick off the 2nd year of the partnership between the team and the University of Chicago Medicine Comer Children's Hospital. Now, the 3 led the entire school in stretching and exercises while offering tips on nutrition and how to lead a healthier lifestyle in what was an extremely fun day for all involved. They're getting with it. This partnership is part of the hospital's initiative aimed at addressing the obesity epidemic in its neighboring Southside communities and creating models for successful programs nationwide. It was created to build on Power Up, an after-school program offering weekly nutrition and physical activity sessions for grade school children. So to learn more about the partnership and its goals, visit whitesox.com/community. Lexi up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. He is now hit in 11. That ties the big hurt Frank Thomas for the longest hitting streak to open up the season.
Pretty impressive. And when you're swinging a magic wand, which Alexi is at this point, you just make some contact and the ball finds a hole. This is up and out of the strike zone. Catches it off the end of the bat, but gets it by Carrasco. And no chance at all for Cabrera or Kipnis. So a very promising way to lead off the 3rd inning.
And here's Tyler. Tyler off to to a big start at 444. A homer. He's driven in 5. Like I say, just a decent lead. And Tyler takes ball 1.
Well, this is the first time that Carrasco's been in the stretch. Well, second time. He walked Gillespie, was in the stretch for just one hitter, Abreu. But unless a pitcher takes at least 40% of his warm-up in the bullpen from the stretch, he sometimes has some control issues.
Outfield straight up, spread out. And there's a base hit by Tyler. So Alexei now will pull up at second. First 2 men aboard. That aboard, Tyler.
Tyler has discovered that there are plenty of hits on the right side. He's really, with that inside-out stroke and his ability to go the other way, it's been just an unbelievable start for him. You see the big gap on the right side.
Well, we're going to show you one of the reasons why he's been doing that. And it started with the first pitch of that sequence.
You always preach taking a pitch well.
See how he took it? Watching it all the way. He's not leaving that ball 4 or 5 feet out in front of home plate with the head.
This looks like a bunt situation. Push right at Santana. Let's see what Adam decides.
He missed the sign.
Joe McEwing giving him his set of signs. What you have to watch in this situation, with Cleveland defending against the bunt, you have to watch a pickoff at second base. So Alexei's got to be careful.
Yeah, especially if Adam were to go through the pitch. Toughest play for a base runner in baseball. You know, first or second, you're the man on second in a bunt situation, and the guy goes through it.
Well, it's especially bad if the guy doesn't have much speed and he's trying to cheat, get a little better lead because he wants to beat the play.
If you're the hitter, you got if you see you're not going to bunt it, you got to get the head of that bat out of there as quick as you can. That's trouble. Down into the corner. Who's going to make him bunt? Nobody. So here comes Alexei. Now they're going to hold Tyler on the double. So Adam was making a big hard turn. He thought that they were going to try to score. Tyler pulls up. Hopefully he's okay. Yeah, he's all right.
Well, he took a slide. It was kind of an unusual play because he slowed himself down instead of just slowing down. He actually took a slide about 10 feet past the bag. So he gets a slider, takes it right down the line, drives in run number 8. A huge total for a leadoff hitter in this part of the season. With nobody out in the inning, Joe McEwing decides not to get adventuresome with Tyler Flowers.
So he picks up his second double. And here is Marcus. Takes ball 1. Marcus struck out, as everybody did in the first inning, with the exception of Gillespie, who walked. Right here, he's got to try to get one in and one over. He did right there. He tried to move it to the right side.
That ball got a good piece of Yan Gomes after it was fouled off. And Ryan Knight, the umpire, giving Gomes a chance to collect himself, get a little feeling into that right shoulder.
Outfield straight up. Big pitch right here. He was still trying to go with that, only he just picked a bad pitch to try to move it to the right side.
He had a straight change, and that one was moving in and down. Marcus in that location, couldn't do anything with it.
So a big strikeout. 1 out.
Throws that sharp breaking slider. And he gets.
So here is Connor. Do the walk in the first inning. Takes that fastball high and wide. Nice gap out there in right center. That's hit hard in the center field. Brantley going back. He makes the catch. So Tyler is going to tag and score. Adam goes into third, and it's a 2-0 Sox lead.
Number 5 for Peter Gillespie. Adam Eaton had every intention to get down to third as quickly as possible, take a big enough turn where if there was any problem with the relay, he would have never stopped. It turned out the relay was a good one, and he had to put on the brakes in third. So a very appreciative bench, liking the idea that Gillespie drove in the second run of the game.
Well, Steve and I both have just fallen in love with the way Adam Eaton plays the game of baseball.
All out 100% whatever he's doing on the field.
Every day. So here's Jose. That ball hit hard. Get over his head. Stretch. What a catch by Brantley. What a play by Michael Brantley on a bullet off the bat of Abreu. Mercy. Top of the fourth inning. 2-3-0 for us. 0-2-0 for them. It'll be Rayburn, Brantley, and Gomes.
The Indians are going to be a much better team when Michael Bourne comes back in his rightful spot at the top of the order. He had a hamstring problem, and they're saying that he's got a very good chance to come back on Monday. which would mean that he'll miss this entire series.
Michael Bourne is a dangerous player.
They got him for his defense, for his speed, and the fact that he is a bona fide leadoff hitter.
Getting ready to say he's not bad with that lumber either.
And they never really planned for Cabrera to lead off, but they're kind of stuck with that after Bourne hurt his hamstring in the spring.
That's up high. 2-1. Change up misses.
Rayburn thinking that he's going to get the same 3-1 fastball that Kipnis got last inning.
He did. He was tardy.
Last year against left-handers, Rayburn was 5th in the league in OPS, on base percentage plus slugging. That's one of the reasons why the Indians like him so much, to neutralize the lefties.
Ball hit hard, sucked up nicely by Gillespie.
Connor had a play last night that was a rocket. That one not quite as hard, but still pretty tough as it stayed down. He stayed right with it and made the play.
That's the whole key, is staying down. If he stays down, if he gets his behind down, he makes good plays. When that behind comes up is when that ball can do some funny things on you. That was a terrific play right there. That ball was scalded. So here's Brantley, and look at this catch once again to rob Abreu of extra bases and an RBI. That ball was hit over his head. It did not look like he had a chance to get back there, but he gets back there fairly easy to make it. Nice play by the young center fielder. Read it perfectly. Used his ears on it.
Well, it also helped that he knew the guy up is tremendously strong. So he's probably thinking, if I'm going anywhere here on a hit ball, it's going to be back as opposed to forward.
Well, the great Willie Mays. I asked him, how do you get such great jump on the ball? He said, because I use my ears.
You can tell.
Yeah.
Tell, especially when Abreu hits it, you can tell the different sound anyway. But
a little soft comeback. 2 now. The Sox fans come out for La Noche de la Familia, a special family night for our Latino fans on Saturday, April 26th. Our very own Latino legend Manny Minoso will be honored with a replica statue giveaway, which the first 20,000 fans in attendance will receive. So visit whitesox.com/familia for tickets. Yeah, when Jose hits it, when he squares it up, it's got a little echo to it.
he's just astonishingly strong. I was talking with one of the scouts tonight. You might remember Pat Burrell from his days with Philadelphia. He was a great hitter out of the University of Miami. He said he went down to the Dominican Republic when Jose was working out. His report to his ball club was that this guy is the real deal. He had a chance to talk with him. He felt that he was very professional. He felt that he understood his craft, and he thought he was as close to the finished product as you're ever going to get coming out of Cuba. So he was really singing the praises of Abreu before he was signed. And of course then it became a bidding war. Unfortunately, it's one that we won.
Who's Burrell scouting for?
Didn't ask him. Don't know. He was sitting with Charlie Kerfeld, former pitcher in Houston.
Yeah. Well,
Charlie's become a good scout.
Denver, the Rockies out in Denver, they were lamenting the fact that they did not get Abreu.
They got close, but that didn't count.
Playing him perfectly. So Gomes is retired. It is a 1-2-3 inning. We'll go to the bottom of the fourth, leading 2-0. Fourth inning, Chris Sale walked a couple of men in the first inning. Since then, he has settled down nicely.
I think Don Cooper came out at a perfect time because Sale was tentative. He wasn't going right at the hitters, and since Don Cooper went out there, had a gentle talk with him, suggested he get everything over early. He's been unhittable since then.
So we'll see what goes on right here with our guys in the bottom of the fourth. Adam Dunn grounded out to short. Actually, third baseman made the play. He was the only man on that side of the deck. Yeah, Chris Sale has retired the last 8 he has seen. 2-0 the count. Touch him up right here, Adam. Get yourself a knock. There it is. Didn't try to do too much with it. So the leadoff single.
He got a 3-1 fastball, and it was down, and Adam loves the ball down. Doesn't try to pull it.
That's what I loved about that. He just went out there. He saw it down. He just didn't try to kill it.
Well, especially for him and the way they shift radically just about each and every time. There's a lot of base hits back up the middle and even more of them to left field.
Well, if he's trying to hit that ball out of the ballpark, he's going to hit a ground ball to the right side or back at the pitcher. Gomes. There's a throw. Numbers in the center field. But rightly right where he should be, backing up.
Heads up base running play by Adam Dunn. If he doesn't run right away when this ball dips in the dirt, they might have had a shot at getting him at second base. A lot of people don't realize that early in Adam's career, number one, he could run pretty well, and also he was always a smart base runner. This ball in the dirt, Gomes can't control it. Dunn is off as soon as he sees Gomes backhanded. Fortunately, it was not a good throw. or they did have a shot at it.
So now Tanker's got a job to do. Two and 0 the count. That's high in the right center field. Adam now going back to tag. He's not going anywhere.
Actually, one of the things that the Indians give you, maybe not in this situation because it wasn't a deep fly ball, but Elliott Johnson is an infielder by trade. He doesn't have any semblance of a right fielder's arm. So they're going to run on Johnson any chance they get, although that one was a little shallow. Same thing holds true with Rayburn, who has a decent arm, but not a great arm in left field.
Here's Diaz. Fly deep center his first trip. First pitch strike.
Would you ever swing at a first pitch that was not a fastball?
On a hanger, yeah.
Hanging curve.
Yeah, hanging curve or hanging slider, something up my eyes. But outside of that, no. Anything that was spinning, no.
Makes sense. I mean, you want to hit the fastball. All power hitters want to hit the fastball. You were certainly one of those. That's where some pitchers make a mistake. They want to throw you that great curveball or great slider on the first pitch, but it's just strike one. And Gomes going out there now to have a talk with Carrasco.
Well, if they do, they're doing you a favor. They're doing the hitter a favor because if you get down in where it's a 2-2 count, maybe even a 3-2, and they throw you that good curveball, you get a much better chance of hitting it because you've seen it.
That happens. That's a mistake with a lot of young pitchers. They give you their best on strike one instead of waiting for it.
Yeah, your veterans, they give you the best when you got two strikes. There were a lot of pitchers that I faced back in those days. They used to pace themselves, the starters, because they were going 9. And all of a sudden, first trip up, you know, okay. Next trip up, okay. Now you get to the 6th, 7th, 8th inning with the man on third base. They put another foot on that fastball. And some more zzz on that breaking ball. That's back through the middle and into center field because Adams going to be rounding third. He's going to score. That boy Alejandro, and it's 3-0.
After the red hot start, first 3 games of the season, Alejandro Diaz has been rather cold. But he drives in run number 5, makes it a 3-0 game. The Sox offense, which has been very good all year long, continues to roll right along tonight.
Well, through last night, we were leading the major leagues in runs scored.
A radical departure from last year.
Also leading the American League in home runs with 15. And they got him.
Good quick move by Carrasco. And it got Alejandro breaking towards second base. He thought he got the hand in. See the break? The throw is not a good one. And Quinn Walcott rings him up.
Well, for that, it didn't even look like Swisher tagged him, but it was the break that caused the umpire to make the decision.
That's one of the situations. You're up 3-0. It's relatively early in the ball game. You're not going to use your challenge here.
Nice pick by Santana. Wow. Glad we pick up another one. We'll go to the 5th, leading 3-0.
WGNTV.com, sponsored by Jeff Vukovich, your local nationwide insurance agent serving the area for 36 years. Join the nation. Visit JeffVuk.com. Nationwide is on your side.
Michaeli's had a little duck snort single right off the end of the bat. Takes first pitch strike. And the count 0-2. Down and in.
Indians didn't do a great deal in the offseason. They brought in John Axford as a free agent. He's their closer. They brought in David Murphy. We saw him last night. They brought in Josh Outman. We saw him last night. But they lost a lot of pitching.
That's not a duck snort. But it's cut off nicely by Adam, who gets it back in. The leadoff single.
Adam kept it to a single on a ball that looked like it was going to get by him. Aviles hits this ball hard. And Eaton, getting a tremendous break, is able to keep the double play in order.
Elliott Johnson popped up to Viciedo. Pretty good pitch, didn't get it. Count evens at 1. Just a decent lead by Aviles. Another pretty good pitch, didn't get it.
I think Tyler's got to lobby a little bit with Brian Knight. Both of these pitches had the plate.
Three and 1 to count. Just full.
Have the confidence to throw a straight change on 3 and 1. With Asdrubal Cabrera in the on deck circle.
The ball hit hard. Adam can't get it. One hop, be a ground rule double. So trouble of brewing here in the top of the 5th. First 2 men aboard. Meanwhile, he threw in 3 strikes in that sequence there, and still didn't get him out. That's what hurts.
Johnson hits the daylights out of this one. Adam gets a good jump. Can't get to it.
That's what hurts when you get a guy struck out, you throw him 3 strikes, and he's still hitting.
Infield is back. They're going to concede the run to try to stay out of the big inning.
And here is Cabrera, that deep fly to center, leading off the ball game, and a strikeout.
For some reason last year, Cabrera hit very well on the road. He had 276, only hit 209 at Progressive Field in Cleveland. That's pretty unusual.
2-0. That's trouble. 3-2 ball game. Yeah, when you get a guy struck out like he had Elliott Johnson struck out and the umpire won't call it, usually something bad happens, and it has.
RBI 3 and 4. Cabrera. He wasn't hitting much of anything coming into the ball game last night. Started last night hitting just 161, but a couple of hits last night. A ringing double here in the 5th, and it brings Don Cooper out to the mound once again. So Cabrera, at least from the right side, has found his stroke, and it tightens this one up considerably. I think Don Cooper wanted to wait out. Maybe, no, he didn't have a word with Ryan Knight.
I was thinking the same thing.
Wait out there till the umpire breaks it up and just
ask him, where were those 2 pitches?
Indians tried Swisher in the cleanup spot last year. It didn't work particularly well, so they've got him in the 2 spot now, but it'll probably change when Bourne comes back.
Takes first pitch strike. He has walked and he has grounded to short. Out in front, way out in front of the changeup.
But we do know one thing from seeing him here. Swisher does not handle straight changes very well.
When he was with us, he had no chance on the straight change. None. 0. It was amazing. For a pretty good hitter, no chance.
Tries to rush that one inside on him.
Three 5-0 for our guys, 2 5-0 for their guys here in the top of the 5th inning. And get foul.
Long run for Viciano, but that ball slicing. That's slicing out of play. Nick is a natural right-hand hitter. His father, major league catcher and an all-star catcher one year with the Cubs. Talked to him about maybe thinking about switch hitting. His father didn't hit the breaking ball particularly well and wanted to see Nick have that breaking ball come into him. So that's when he started to switch hit. It was just before college, and it's worked out pretty well for him.
That's up high. So 2-2 the count. The 33-year-old veteran. And there's a base hit. And this game is tied at 3.
RBI number 6 for Swisher. That was a slider, it looked like. And he took it right back up the middle.
There's no question about the key at bat in this half inning.
Yep.
When he had Elliott Johnson struck out and he wouldn't call him. Gipnis.
A lot of pitches for Chris Sale. With nobody out here in the 5th inning, he's up to 92.
And a count 2-0. Change up.
Jake Petrichka loosening in the pen.
Full count to Kipnis. Breaking ball, and he fights it off. That's into center field. So that's the first out of the inning. And season tickets for our Sox are available at low prices. Purchase a season ticket plan to gain access to the best seats, best price with the most benefits. So WhiteSox.com or 312-674-1000.
Looked like Kipnis on the swing on a pitch inside asked Brian Knight if it was a strike in that at bat. If you swung at a pitch, would you ever ask the umpire if it was a strike?
I did when I first started playing until the manager told me if you ever do that again, I'll take you out of the ball game.
That's a convincer.
Yeah. There have been so many, but the game has changed so much in that respect. You know, it's like the great Ted Williams. He used to tell when Yastrzemski first came up, and Carl Yastrzemski, who was a Triple Crown winner in 1967 and a great player. But when he was a rookie and then in his second year, Ted used to constantly pound him. Do not let an umpire call an inside strike on you. Do not let an umpire call an inside strike. And by that he meant if he called it, you back out, get on him.
Well, if you can just look away, and that's what happened with Big Frank here for a lot of years. He didn't have to worry about that inside strike, and he looked away, and he just killed people.
Yeah. Santana protects it up. And a count 2-1.
Yeah, he's laboring this inning. It's about ready to deliver pitch number 30 this inning.
Three balls and a strike. Come on, Chris, put it behind you, buddy. Still got some work to do. We got a 3-3 tie here. That's high and deep in the left field. Piazza back on the track. He's there. 2 down.
Santana didn't miss that one by much. After 2 strikeouts, he just got under it. Chasing Alejandro back. And recording the second out of the inning.
Here's Rayburn, a strikeout. And he hit a hard ground ball. Good play by Gillespie to get it. That's out of play. Pops him up. Chris Sale catches a bad break right there. Had Johnson struck out. Didn't get the calls. They score 3 and we're tied at 3.
On 1340 South Canal tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. to receive a photograph and commemorative autograph card. Learn how to gear up with the Sox. Lucky fans 21 and over can enter a chance to win a White Sox Miller Lite hoodie or hat and register for a chance to play softball at U.S. Cellular Field. Brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer and official beer of your Chicago White Sox.
Tyler Flowers is 1 for 1 with a run scored. Will lead it off for us here in the bottom of the 5th inning in this 3-3 tie.
Like Don Cooper talking with Chris Sale about what he has left. And if he wants to go further in this one, I would say Chris Sale, knowing his competitive nature, would probably answer in the affirmative.
Oh, and 2 the count.
Realizes that they're going to probably give him through April to establish that he can be a starting pitcher. Indians lost Valdo Jimenez, Scott Kazmir, Chris Perez, and Joe Smith from their bullpen, so they've got a couple of starters that they have to have come through.
Nice pick by Swisher. Ball had a lot of spin on it, so 1 out.
Adam Eaton in the 3rd inning with 2 on. Takes him right down the line. That's his 8th run batted in of the year. Made it a 1-0 game at the time. Sox got the 3-zip before the Indians came back. But for Adam Eaton, who's been a catalyst at the top, tonight has been no exception.
Two and 0 the count out. And that Boston 4-2 lead over the Yankees. That game in the 8th inning in the Bronx. Grady Sizemore hit a 3-run homer. Oh, CC's the bathroom. 3-0 the count.
One of the great stories of the year is Grady Sizemore battling his way onto the ball club and the starting center field job over Jackie Bradley Jr.
And there's the walk. And a reminder that Saturday, April 26th, see our Sox take on Tampa Bay at 6:10. All fans are invited to stay for a post-game fireworks show presented by Magellan Corporation. So, WhiteSox.com or 866-SOX-GAME for tickets.
This is not an easy combination to run against. Gomes usually is pretty accurate. And we've seen Carrasco with a very good move to first base.
Marcus 0 for 2, a couple of strikeouts. Ball gets by him.
Probably going to be the second wild pitch of the night. This breaking ball in the dirt. Gomes did not get the glove down, and the ball did get by him. So now Eaton in scoring position.
Lays off that one in the count. 2-1. Come on, Marcus. Whistle up. Got a pretty good pitch to hit right there. Fastball up, out over the plate. Underneath. 2-2. It's full.
Tried a changeup, went away from that good curveball that he's thrown most of the evening. Trying to get him on the straight change, but missed way inside.
Payoff pitch. Stacks it up. He did not go. So back-to-back walks.
And we'll see if, yes, Mickey Callaway at the top step of the dugout
Third walk issue.
And he's going to go out there and have a word with him. Bullpen's going to start to get loose.
And a reminder, making plans to be with us here at the ballpark tomorrow. Third of this 4-game set. Felipe Paulino against Justin Masterson. If you can't make it to the ballpark, that game will be over WGN. And the finale on Sunday, Jose Quintana against Corey Kluber. And that game right back on Comcast Sportsnet.
Callaway wants to spend some time out there to allow his bullpen to get a couple of extra pitches as they just got up now. So Jason Kipnis now talking to Carrasco about who's going to cover second base on a comebacker to him.
So here's Gillespie. He has walked and has a sacrifice fly, picking up his 5th RBI. Takes low ball 1.
Pen is up and going. It's Mark Zipchinski. Spelled just like it sounds.
So he's got the catbird seat 2-0. Help him out. Zone him in, reel him in, and light him up. There's a shot in right field. So here he comes. Here's the throw. Safe! Beautiful slide by Adam Eaton, and the Sox lead it 4-3 on a rocket of a base hit by Gillespie.
Adam doesn't get a great jump off second base. He's got no chance. And it also helps that Johnson does not have a normal right fielder's arm. Not his fault. He's usually a utility infielder, but he made this very close. Connor Gillespie hits this ball on the screws. His 2nd run batted in of the night, his 6th of the year. And Adam Eaton is off to the races and just barely beats his play with the good head first dive away from the tag. That ball was on the plate. They got a good chance of getting Eaton, but it was on the first base side of home plate, and Gomes had a long way to go with that tag.
Well, that's what made the play. He was too far up in front of the base of the home plate. But right here is Abreu. He's 0 for 2. Last time up was robbed of an RBI and extra bases on a brilliant play by Brantley in center field. Yeah, that's where catcher has got to sit back a little bit, wait, let the ball come to him, whether him go get it and then try to get back and make a tag. There's where the catcher's got to roll the dice. It's going to be a short hop. You're not going to get him anyway. Just got to hope it's a good hop, like it was.
Well, I'm sure the game plan coming in was run on Johnson every chance he got. But he made it a lot closer than it should have been.
Well, the ball was hit so hard, he got to him in a hurry. Breaking ball. So 2 down.
There's Elliott Johnson, and that's going to be it for Carrasco. As Terry Francona comes out, he wants Zipchinski to face Dunn, and Carrasco is done. So as Zipchinski comes walking in, we'll step out and be back after these messages. the south side. There you look at some very impressive numbers. He was with St. Louis and then came to the Indians last year. And at St. Louis, he didn't do very well. But the light turned on in Cleveland, because when he came over, that was on July 30th, the opposition hit just 159 against him. So he's more than a situational left-hander. He was a very good pitcher last year. And in an era when you can never have too many left-handers in your bullpen, he gives the Indians a pretty strong one as he looks in at Adam Dunn.
Adam, 1 for 2, a single and a run scored. Four 3 Sox here in the bottom of the 5th inning if you're just getting home tuning in. Baseball 1.
A good stop by Gomes. A couple got by him. Thrown by Carrasco, but not that one.
Will load him up. And a reminder, join our White Sox for Weather Day presented by WGN TV on April 30th at the U.S. Cellular Field prior to the game versus the Tigers. WGN TV meteorologist Tom Skilling will host a special program focused on weather. So WhiteSox.com/WGN for more details. Here's Tank. Tank is grounded to third, going out to right. Takes it right there. And the count 0-2. Good 2-strike hitter. One in, sacks packed with Sox.
That one was off the corner. Pretty good pitch. On an 0-2 count, tried a backdoor slider and just barely missed with it.
Good pitcher's pitch. Thank goodness it backed up. Holmes keeps it in front of him, so the count evens at 2. And a full count. Now squeeze it. And that's ball 4. And here comes Simeon. It's a 5-3 Sox lead.
Third run driven in this year by Viciedo, one of the quiet variety, and 4th walk of the inning. Both of the one-out walks have scored. Both charged to Carrasco. Now Mickey Callaway coming out to talk with his surprisingly wild left-hander.
Viciedo will be the hitter. He has gone out deep to center and singled in a run. So 5-6-0 for us, 3-6-0 for them here at the bottom of the 5th inning.
Long inning has seen Chris Sale sitting around, but he's got the lead. So he's a pretty happy man at this point, with a while to go yet.
Oh, base hit right here would really be nice. Nothing in 1. Alejandro.
Very talented right-hander Brian Shaw loosening up. Pitches called. Doesn't appear that he swung yet. But this appeal to Phil Cuzzy. He didn't swing it.
That wasn't even close.
Nope.
That was not even close.
He's been getting pitches like that called all year for whatever reason.
That was not even close. But we come up with a pair. We go to the 6th leading 5-3.
The audio setting provided by 97.5 FM ESPN Deportes, Chicago's first and only Spanish language sports radio station. And we've got a new pitcher, Jake Petrichka, who comes into this with a 2-run lead. On for the fourth time, the ERA 180. Didn't start the year with the ball club. He came up after the injury to Nate Jones, and he's done a nice job.
Brantley, Gomes, and Aviles, the scheduled hitters. Just starting us, both teams with 6 hits. They scored 3 in the 5th. We scored 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, and 2 in the 5th. Two and 0 the count. Come on, Jake. No walks, buddy. There's a dreaded leadoff walk. And you can bring your family to the ballpark for Family Sundays presented by the University of Chicago Medicine Comer Children's Hospital. Tickets start as low as $5. Parking is just $10. So WhiteSox.com/Sunday or 866-SOX game. Gomes has singled softly and grounded to second. Takes first pitch strike. And the count 1-2. A shank for a base hit. So the leadoff walk moves into third. Runners at the corners, nobody out.
Second hit of the night for Gomes.
And both of them about the same, hit about as hard.
This breaking ball hangs inside. Tyler Flowers wanted it low and away, and Jake missed his spot. And it cost him runners at the corners and nobody out.
There's Aviles. He's 2 for 2 with a run scored. Ball 1. Evens it up. Those leadoff walks will absolutely kill him. Chops that foul. So 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Good speed at third base, and so we're going to try a wipeout slider here. Tyler's got to smother anything down.
Bobble, 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 bobbles. So the leadoff walk scores, and it's a 5-4 game. Everybody's safe on the error by Gillespie.
They do give him an RBI. That's his 4th of the year. Bradley's not running. Connor thinking about getting a double play. Keeps juggling the ball and doesn't get anybody.
Here's Elliott Johnson. 1 for 2. Had him struck out last inning. Fine Knight wouldn't call him out. Then he doubled. Came around to score. So runners at second and third, 1 out.
Pretty good bunt by Johnson, and now Asdrubal Cabrera will turn around and hit for the first time from the left side.
Cabrera's going out deep to center, struck out, and had a 2-run double. Also scored.
Infield is back. They're going to give up the tie, not the go-ahead run on a routine ground ball.
And the count 0-2. Two ugly innings right here.
Indeed.
Two and two. Swisher on deck. Outfield straight up. He gone. Big strikeout.
Took something off, and he had Cabrera well out in front of it. Perfect pitch in a very good spot.
Here's Swisher, a walk. A ground out to short, an RBI single. That was last inning. One to count. High. Alejandro. Stay with it.
I think he overran the ball.
He did.
Fortunately, everybody comes away unscathed, but that ball was drifting back toward the field of play, as is the tendency. And Alejandro, getting close to the wall, just plain overruns it.
So a big break for the Indians. And that's grounded. Count hangs at 0-2.
WGNTV.com and click on the Game Zone banner for updated stats and information. The Game Zone is powered by St. Xavier University. Tradition, innovation, this is where they meet. And in between innings, Jake went over, headed Alejandro on the back, tell him thanks for the effort. And Jake got out of it with a fastball called on Nick Swisher. As Brian Shaw comes into the game, and he's given up nothing this year. This is 5th outing, 3 1/3 innings, 3 hits, nary a run. Shaw last year was 7-3 for the Tribe. He was pretty impressive. ERA 3 1/4 and 70 appearances.
Well, every time he came in against us, he looked like Goose Gossage.
He's a pretty good pitcher. He really picked up the slack.
Alexei fouls it away right side. He's 1 for 2. He led off the 3rd inning with a single, came around to score when we got 2 in the 3rd. It also extended his hitting streak to 11 games, all 11. That ties the Big Hurt Frank Thomas for the franchise record for hitting streaks to start a season.
It was a 3-way deal that Shaw was involved in. The principal from the Indians was Sin-Chu Chu. Came over from the Diamondbacks. They got Trevor Bauer, one of the prized possessions of the Diamondbacks, in that trade also. Lost Tony Sipp. D.D. Gregorius came from the Reds. The Indians made a pretty good deal.
Count hangs at 0-2. Tyler on on deck. Adam Eaton in the hole.
Took a little something off that slider. It was a huge breaking pitch. Threw it out of the zone and he got it. It just keeps on moving away. And Alexei, for the first time tonight, goes down on strike.
Shaw against us. Boy, he was nails.
Last year was pretty tough against everybody. It's a lot of appearances, 70. With an ERA just over 3.
Tyler's 1 for 2 with a run scored.
I'm sure the Indians will miss Chris Perez, who was a pretty good pitcher but fell on some hard times, but they're certainly going to miss Joe Smith. He was a free agent, signed a 3-year deal with Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. I don't see many non-closing relievers get the kind of deal that Smith got from the Angels, but they needed him, and he was very good for the Tribe last year.
Did not hold it back. Ball and 2 strikes.
Bad idea when you're looking at a steady diet of off-speed breaking balls. You heat them upstairs, but he threw it well up and out of the zone.
Two down. And here's Adam. Adam 1 for 2 with an RBI double, a walk, and a run scored.
Santana in very close at the cut of the grass at third base. Anticipating that Adam might lay it down that way.
There's the bunt. That's a good one. That's a good one.
That's the first time in a long time we've seen Adam drag the ball, and it's a terrific play if you get it by the pitcher. Because the coordination between the first and second baseman is very difficult, and you have to have worked on it consistently. Even if it's a good toss, and it wasn't by Swisher, they wouldn't have had him at first base. On our Xfinity Speed replay, see Adam Eaton hustling down the line. He stays on his feet, which is a good sign, and he legs out a base hit, his second of the night. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports.
Here's Marcus, 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Just a short lead by Adam at first. Long set by Shaw.
Average pitcher is 1.3 seconds from set position to the catcher. It appears with a kind of disjointed leg kick that Shaw is a little slower than that. So if Adam can get a decent lead, it's not a bad time to run.
That's high. Good foul. Get out of here.
And Johnson, used to the infield, not the outfield, got close to the rail, and that ball just eluded him. So another life for Marcus. Now he sees exactly where he is. He knows where the rail is, but the ball drops off the glove.
Well, he's
Not used to getting over there and then making an adjustment. He sort of timed his arrival to the descent. Make them pay, Marcus. Make them pay. A little bigger lead now. They got to beat his number. That's in the hole. Base hit.
Given the second lease on life, this slider didn't do a whole lot, and it stayed up in the zone. So Marcus takes it through the left side, just barely eluding Asdrubal Cabrera. And it's 2 on, 2 out.
Here's Gillespie. Perfect on the evening with a walk, a sacrifice fly, and an RBI single. So 1 for 1 with 2 ribbies. Come on, Connor. Take him up. Tops the foul down past Debo. Earl Boston. Guys just keep coming at you.
Offense has been very entertaining this year.
Takes it up, and the count evens at 1.
And for the most part, to make it more difficult on the opposing bullpen to come in, Robin has staggered the lineup lefty righty down through the lineup.
Backdoor breaking ball, cues and foul, and he's in the hole 1 and 2. Nice gap out there in right center if he can find it. Good speed on. Eaton at second, Simeon at first. That one down and in. He did, but Connor would not bite. This guy knows what he's doing out there.
Did a nice job of staying alive there and then break the ball down and in.
Yep. Shaw knows what he's doing.
Pretty good stuff. And he can move that breaking ball inside, outside. More times than not, he keeps it down and out of the strike zone when he's trying to wipe you out.
Look at this. Is that pretty? Yes, it is. Here comes 1. Here comes Simeon. And the good speed is going to score a pair. Sox lead it 7-4. Yes! Connor with 4 big ribbies.
8 runs batted in this year for Connor Gillespie as he just serves this ball down the line. Joe McEwing is going to run every chance he gets on the corner outfielders. In this case, Rayburn misses a cutoff man. And Marcus Simeon scores rather easily.
Don't stop now, boys. Here's Abreu. He is 0 for 3 tonight. Robbed of extra bases and an RBI by Michael Brantley.
Back in the third inning, takes that slider strike.
2 out, nobody on, rally.
Yeah, they just keep coming at you. Yes, just keep coming at you. That ball hit hard, deep, stretch, stretch, stretch. Down, coming. Deep into center field, but damage is done. The 2-run double by Gillespie. We'll go to the 7th, leading 7-4. Top of the 7th inning. Jason Kipnis. 7-4 good guys. Started with 2 out, nobody on. That drag bunt by Eaton. Single by Simeon and a 2-run double by Gillespie. And there's a base hit in the right field.
Bullpen is up and going. Righty and lefty throwing in the Sox pen.
So here's Santana. He's 0 for 3.
Michael Plato and Donnie Veal loosening in the pen.
Santana with a couple of strikeouts and a deep fly to left. Take strike 1.
Santana has already ground into 4 double plays this very young season.
They've got a shift going for him. Count evens at 1. Okay, the shift.
Well, Lexi couldn't locate the bag, and he was actually backing up. So there's not much he could do with Kipnis sliding in. Kipnis is going to go in hard, you know that. But although this ball is hit awfully hard, probably was a tailor-made too. Lexi could not locate the bag.
So here's Rayburn. He struck out. Grounded very hard to third, and he popped up to second. pitch strike. Softly hit. 2 out. And parents, these White Sox baseball camps are open to boys and girls ages 5 through 12 and will be in over 60 communities. Now, every camper gets an exclusive tour of the United Center to meet a former or current Bulls player and coach. White Sox summer camps are sponsored by WSCR 670 The Score, by Beggar's Pizza, by Comcast Sportsnet, by Sun Times Media, and Athletico. So 630 play ball or visit bullsoxacademy.com to find a camp near you. Here's Brantley. Takes first pitch strike. Michael 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Count evens at 1. Count now 1-2. Now field straight up, spread out, about equidistant. Now Adams going to move a couple of steps over to his right. Goes to the 1-2 count. And there's a little shank, duck snort, RBI single.
First hit of the night for Brantley. His 7th run driven in.
And it's a 7-5 game.
Inside out swing as the Indians continue to battle back. Giving a major league team an extra out.
Yep.
Should have been a double play.
Yep.
Not made. Costly.
Here's John Gomes. He has had 2 soft singles. He's 2 for 3. 2 duck snorts. Strike evens are counted 1. Seven runs, 9 hits, 1 error for our Sox. 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors for their Indians.
Brantley has yet to attempt a stolen base.
Pretty good pitch, didn't get it.
count 3-1. It's full. $13,605. It has been a gorgeous day. Just called beautiful evening. There you go. There you go. So they come up with a run. 7th inning stretch, we lead it by 2.
Second night in a row, we're going to get a look at C.C. Lee. He went an inning and a third last night. It was perfect baseball. He got a strikeout, and he's pretty much a side wheeler out of Taiwan. You can't beat bacon anywhere, but certainly
Famous bacon.
You can't beat it there. Bacon on a stick. Substantial strip of bacon. I can send a few of those up tomorrow for the day game. I'd like a few dozen.
Adam done. Adam 1 for 2. Ground out, a single, a walk, and a run score. Start us off right here, big man. Goes through that one. 92 from CC. Takes it up, and that's very quickly 0-2. In case you did not hear earlier, Boston beat the Yankees, and you just saw 4-2. Big hit in that ball game was the 3-run homer by Grady Sizemore of CC Sabathia. Takes that up high, and the count 1-2. Minnesota hurting Kansas City 9-1 at Target Field.
They got the Cy Chen tonight. They figured out a way. Got to get that tape.
Nothing wrong with that concept. I'll tell you that right
I don't
now.
know how they did it, but it would be nice to see how they did it.
Yeah. Two and two. We had film like in my day when we played.
Yes.
That's it. Didn't have any tape and it was a cumbersome process to try to get something. I never watched one time I ever watched me hit. As there's a good way to start it down into the corner. Now that will lead it off with a double.
If you throw it off from the side, you're very susceptible to left-hand hitters because there really is very little, if any, deception. They can see the ball coming. They're not going to bail out like the right-handers, and Adam took advantage of it, drove it into the corner. So a very promising way to start the 7th inning.
And Tank's got a job to do.
This is a game where you know the Indians aren't going to quit. They didn't quit all last year. They won 31-run games. They won 11 games in their last at bat. So this is a team like our team that will keep coming at you.
As he takes a strike. Yeah, it was very seldom that a hitter in my time zone would ever watch film if it hit him. But in retrospect, I'd rather have seen a pitcher we were going to face when he got beat. As that's not going to get the job done.
Not a particularly good at bat, but a good scoop by Swisher. Well, today the technology is so amazing that, let's say in your day you faced a guy, you probably faced a guy 30, 40 times, and now you can get every one of those at bats, every one of the, just consecutively 30 straight at bats, and see exactly what he's trying to do to you each and every time, and see when you were successful and see when you weren't. I mean, it's that good. The advancement is that much for the videographers and what they do to help a baseball team.
It's amazing what our players have access to. Here's Diaza. Takes first pitch strike. It was outside. I tell you, Diaza's been having some tough calls from umpires, both on strikes and check swings. Unbelievable.
He has that.
Called him out on the check swing last time, wasn't even close. Santana makes the play.
Santana has played a good, solid third base tonight, just as billed.
So here's Alexei. Alexei, that third inning single and scored a run. He's 1 for 3, and that extended his hitting streak to 11. Takes first pitch strike. Sale couldn't get those strikes called on Elliott Johnson.
That's a sharp breaking ball. And to a right-hander, you keep it there. But that late break, and the right-hander doesn't have much of a chance. Leo got $400,000 to sign. Turned down double that from a Japanese club. Was rated the 8th best prospect in the Indians organization coming into spring training, and he made the ball club.
Trying to heat him up. I tell you, he's got an easy 94.
Good deceptive motion.
Yeah.
But like a lot of sidearmers, you've got to find a way, and sidearm right-handers, find a way to neutralize left-hand hitters. Sometimes the real good ones can do it. More times than not, they can't. That was a good job of staying alive on a tough pitch.
Sounded like he got a piece of film.
Good solid breaking ball as he flies at the hitter. That one, he didn't drop down quite as much from the side as he'll do on occasion.
Good job by Alexei. Pitch was way outside, but the way things are going up there at the plate, you better swing anything close.
And now Gomes is out there to talk with Lee. Probably wouldn't mind him going out a little further than he went on the last pitch if Alexei's going to go and get it.
Or take a little something off more. It's a hard sinker at 92. Pick him up. He will. He will. Beautiful job. Good at bat by Alexei. And it's an 8-5. Sox lead.
That was a terrific piece of hitting because Lee was staying away. That ball was low and away. It was just barely out of the zone, but in protection mode, he just reached out and eased it over the head of Kipnis. And another big insurance run.
That was a terrific at bat for Alexei. Man.
10 runs driven in. Far and away his best April. He's not even been close to it. Lifetime .245 hitter in the month of April. Hitting in the neighborhood of 430, 440 at this point.
Tyler's 1 for 3 with a run scored. There he goes. And he's safe.
Gomes threw from his knees. Still got a lot on the throw. But Alexei went to the back of the bag as that throw was in front of the bag, and Kipnis couldn't get back there for the tag. He was in. The tag was on the body, and the hand was at the bag. Good call by Jerry Davis.
So he picks up his 3rd stolen base. Stole 30 last year. Well, Ranch Rickey said it, and it's one of the great statements ever made in the game of baseball. Sometimes the best trades you make are the ones you never made.
That's true.
And it's so true. You know, there were a lot of opportunities for Rick Hahn to trade Alexei this winter because there were a lot of people asking about it.
There was no doubt. There were a few teams that needed shortstops coming into this year, and there'll be a few more that need it.
Got him. But we pick up one on a beautiful at bat by Ramirez. And we'll go to the 8th, leading 8-5.
about hitting the Indians. Connor Gillespie with a 2-run double and an RBI single to go with his sacrifice fly. And Alexi Ramirez having another big night, an 11-game hitting streak to start the season. Start something special with great leases and low financing on a new Honda. Visit shophonda.com or your local Honda dealer. It's Michael Clado who comes into the game, and he's been pretty good out of the pen. This is his 5th appearance. He has given up nothing yet. The slider has been pretty much pinpoint. And this was a guy that always had the stuff, but never had the control. And it appears now, with the help of Don Cooper and a little work with Bobby Thigpen, that he's starting to throw strikes. So Jordan Danks comes in the game in right field.
So here's Mike Aviles. He is 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. First pitch strike from Plato. Pretty good pitch, didn't get it.
Tyler Flowers went back and had a word with Brian Knight. That ball had most of the upper part of the strike zone.
Flip a coin. Three and one. Thank you. One out. And a reminder, MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 12 years. So join the millions of subscribers. Watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 devices. So visit WhiteSox.com for details.
David Murphy coming on the pinch hit. Murphy started last night's game, went 0 for 3.
First pitch strike.
Indians got Murphy to platoon with Ryan Rayburn. He's supposed to be the left-hand hitting counterpart. Had a bad year with Texas last year, but he's been a pretty good hitter, especially against right-hand pitchers during the course of his career.
0-2 the count. That's up high. That one 98. Before it's over, you'll be reading about David Murphy with a walk-off single, with a walk-off homer. I mean, that's the kind of guy he is. Comes up with some big base hits for you. Tops that one foul. Top of the ninth in St. Louis. Cubs leading the Cardinals 3-1. Samardzija went 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 run.
That's 3 good starts in a row for Jeff Samardzija, who is cementing his place among 1 and 2 starters in baseball and becoming a lot more attractive as far as a trade is concerned.
Tops that one, fella. Well, we talked about it the other day. When does the time come that you stop trading your good players?
I think probably when you're ready to win, or in this case, if you had some really good arms in the farm system, you probably want to keep them around. But I think they're going to use them to rebuild like they use Matt Garza.
Just got a piece of that one. Count hangs to 2 balls, 2 strikes with 1 down here in the top of the 8th. 8 runs, 11 hits, 1 error. For our guys, 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors for their guys.
Cabrera in the on-deck circle. His big hit tonight. 2-run double in the 5th inning.
Full count. Milwaukee. Got a pretty good pitch to hit. Put a good pass on it underneath it.
The battling at bat. It's going to be the 11th pitch coming up from Michael Plato. So Murphy not making it easy.
And another souvenir.
Plato has thrown it everywhere. In, out, up, and down. And he's going to make the 12th pitch of the at-bat.
He's got him in a swing mode. Not even close. And he walks it. So here's Cabrera. Went out deep to center, struck out. 2-run double, Steve just mentioned, and another strikeout. Just a static lead at first, and that ball is way high. And here comes Coop.
The bullpen has been up and going, so Don coming out to try to settle down Michael Plato and give his bullpen a chance. Looking over the lineup cards and what moves Terry Francona might have left. He's got Lonnie Chisenhall, Nigel Morgan, and he's got Sellers coming off the bench, who was recently recalled.
So here's the 1-0 pitch to Cabrera. We've got some big arms coming out of the bullpen, but it doesn't make any difference how hard you throw.
Not if you can't get it in the zone.
Ramirez, and the gun of Alexei. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th, leading by 3.
Was one that you didn't think you'd get with Cabrera going up the line from the left side. But Semien hustles to his left, makes a good solid throw, and Alexei avoids the slide and guns it across to double his Drupal Cabrera. Earlier a double play was not made. This time it was. This was a big one and out of the inning, and now David Murphy stays in the game in right field. And we have Blake Wood, who we saw in last night's game. Wood came on for an inning, gave up a run on 2 hits, walked 1, fanned 1. He has a big fastball, but he was having some control issues last night.
Top of the order here at the bottom of the 8th. Eaton, Semien, and Gillespie. A lot of teams like us, we have big arms coming out of that bullpen, but have trouble getting it open. Adam 2 for 3. RBI double. Walk and a run scored. And he started off that 2-run 6 with a 2-out drag bunt. And came around to score. Those guys fun to watch. Man.
He's got the full arsenal of the small man's game. He can bunt to both sides. He's a good anticipation. He's a terrific outfielder, and he doesn't miss cutoff man. Pretty good combination to have.
He hasn't missed one yet. Knock on wood. All of our guys have been doing a good job today. As opposed to last year when it was the exceptions rule when we hit one.
A lot of different personnel.
Different teams.
Maybe
Different teams.
a little more emphasis in spring training.
And there's ball 4.
Wood came back from Tommy John surgery. The fastball is still there, but control is still a problem.
Marcus 1 for 3 with a couple of runs scored. Big base hit back in the 6th inning. After Adam let it off with that drag bunt. the stolen bases. What job? Count 2-0. Don't help him out. I'll tell you that, Alexa. He is having some kind of start. He's never had come close to having a start like this. And we talked about it in spring training. He seemed to be just a different guy.
Well, he's got good plate coverage.
His plate coverage has been unbelievable. There's 1-2.
Power seems to be back.
He's having fun.
That kind of start, you can have a lot of fun, but it looked like the having fun came before the fast start.
It's causing the good start.
It's a save situation to this point, and Matt Lindstrom was in the pen. He came on last night, pitched a spotless ninth. Was, however, a non-save situation.
Chops that one foul. How about Marcus? Good 2-strike hitter, buddy. First and third. And the count goes full.
That was a good stop by Gomes. That ball hit in front of the plate. All he did was line it up in the middle of his chest protector.
There he goes. And that's ball 4, so back-to-back walks.
Gunnar with a big night, 4 runs batted in, including a 2-run double in the 6th inning.
This was a big hit of the game.
Slicing it down the line, away from Rayburn. And the speed of Simeon, being able to beat the play at the plate.
More ribbies. Put some more. Pitchers recovering. And they get him. We got ducks on the pond, one out. Well, last year, through 11 games, we haven't completed this one yet. Last year, we had scored 39 runs in 11 games.
I'm surprised we scored that many.
This year, so far, as they bring the infield in, this year we scored 69 runs.
There's one of the men partially responsible. The hitters have to do it, but a lot of them seem to be buying into Todd Severson's philosophy. And now a meeting at the mound with Mickey Callaway. They do have first base open, and although Jose Abreu is 0 for 4, sandwiched around a couple of strikeouts for 2 vicious line drives to center field. One a tremendous catch by Brantley in the 3rd. The other looked like it had the distance coming in the 6th inning, but Brantley ran it down on the track. happens when you ask a guy whose control is spotty anyway to load him up, and then you got to get the ball over the plate? Sometimes the intentional walk leads to the unintentional walk. And Adam Dunn is having a very good night coming up next.
And it's all Lakewood. Adam is 2 for 3 with a single, a double, and 2 runs scored.
That's the 3rd intentional walk already issued to Abreu in this 11th game of the year. We'll be seeing that a few more times this year.
Right. Control it, nice and easy. Nice and easy. That one at 96. That made a good pass at it just underneath it. Sox packed with Sox, 1 out. Big pitch coming up to 1-1. And it goes Adams' way. If you're just getting home. We scored 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. They scored 3 in the 5th, 1 in the 6th, and 1 in the 7th. 8-5 Sox. Three and 1. Don't help him out. It's all Blake Wood. Fannies on seats out there in that bullpen.
Gotta believe that Terry Francona doesn't want to go any deeper with a day game tomorrow, even though he does have 13 pitchers in this team.
And that's ball 4, so the 4th walk of the inning, and it's 9-5.
That's a big problem when you ask a guy with spotty control to load him up. He really didn't come close in that at bat. And Adam drives in his 5th run of the year.
Well, here's Jordan. Had a big spring. Led our club in home runs and RBIs. Center field.
Tomorrow on WGN, Justin Masterson, their number 1, will go against Felipe Paulino.
Goes through that one. 98. Evens at 1. And it's 2-1. walk. Simeon drawing a walk. Gillespie grounding out 3-1. The intentional walk to Abreu, then the walk to Dunn. Good rip. Meanwhile, 2-2. Steve just told you about tomorrow. Molino against Masterson at WGN on Sunday. Quintana against Kluber. That game on Comcast Sportsnet.
Good pitch, and after being all over in that at bat, he threaded the needle on the inside corner.
So 2 down, and it'll bring up Diaz. He's 1 for 4 with an RBI. Outfield swung around to the left. Gets through there. No, it took a nice bounce for Kipnis. But we come up with 1. We'll go to the 9th, leading 9-5.
Same situation, so it was a 3-run lead. It would be Matt Lindstrom. Now it's up to Veal to close it down against the heart of the order. On for the 4th time. He's yet to give up a run. Opponent's hitting a paltry .222. He's got to deal with Swisher, Kipnis, and Santana.
Swish is 1 for 3 with an RBI. He walked in the 1st, grounded to short in the 3rd, RBI single in the 5th, struck out in the 6th. 9-5 good guys here in game 2 of this 4-game set. We won the opener last night, 7-3. Swish takes blown away ball 1. Count 2-0. Atlanta came back and beat the Nasty Nats 7-6 down in Georgia. Pretty good pitch and didn't get it. Tyler turns around saying, "Where is it, Brian?" Pops him up. Abreu. 1 out. That boy, Donnie.
Trying to preserve a 3-0 start for Chris Sale as he's a pitcher of record. Throws his fastball right in on the hands of Nick Swisher, who pops it straight up.
So here's Kipnis. Mason's 1 for 3 with a walk. Takes first pitch strike. Just tuning in, RBIs tonight, 4 by Gillespie, 1 by Eaton, 1 by Adam. That's right at him, and that's out number 2. Adam Dunn had 1. Dicieto had 1. Piazza had 1. Alexi had the other. So here is Santana. Also, if you're just joining us, no home runs in this ball game.
There has been some speed.
This club is fun to watch.
It is.
It is fun to watch. They just keep coming at you. Well, we talked about it in spring training. It's an emotional club. A lot of emotion. One and 2.
Good straight change from Veal. Breaking ball, but that one stayed off the plate.
2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes, top of the 9th. Payoff pitch. Well, the 2-out walk, and that'll bring up Rayburn, who's 0 for 4. You don't see that very often against us. Ryan Rayburn going 0 for 4. Strikeout, ground out, hard ground out to third, pop up to second, and a ground out to short. Always get that tongue sticking out. So there'll be indifference as Santana moves into second. And there's the base hit. So the walk is going to come around and score.
And it's 9-6.
This is the second run batted in for Ryan Rayburn this year.
And that'll bring up Michael Brantley, who is 1 for 3 with an RBI. And a run scored. He walked and scored back in the 6th inning. Walks that have been very prominent in this ball game on both sides. Get over there, and this ball game is over for the Sox. Make it 2 in a row. As they win last night 7-3. They win 9-6 tonight, and we'll be back.